But here we go. And welcome to game number 1, Dark versus MbL. We're gonna have Dark on the left-hand side playing the red color with the Portuguese, while MbL is on the right-hand side playing the blue color as Japanese. The blue player we'll see first off with the civilization at 33% faster attack rate on infant units starting in the feudal age. It's gonna get in addition to that 5, 10, 15 and 20% faster working fishing ships in the Dark Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages. There's plenty of fish, of course, for players to collect from, so Japanese can be an extremely strong civilization on a map like this, assuming that you manage to get access to and hold on to, at the very least, a couple of these ponds. Those fishing ships will also have twice the HP and plus 2 pierce armor compared to standard fishing ships, and in addition to that, for the Japanese, we also have a 50% discount on drop-off buildings. So if you go for, let's say, 2 lumber camps, mill, potentially mining camp over here, that's going to represent already 200 resources saved. While for the team bonus, the Japanese will also have galleys with 50% extra line of sight. Galley type units, so that's going to be standard galleys, fire galley, actually war galleys, and galleon. Dark on the left-hand side, playing with the Portuguese, will have 30% faster research and upgrades for the team bonus, 25% wood generation from berries, in addition to access to the Fate area and in the Imperial Age, and then a 20% gold discount on unit production. This is one of those maps where the other bonus from Portuguese becomes relevant as well, which is 10% extra HP on Navy units. So if he does get its own fire galley out at the same time as MbL's fire galleys, on paper, Dark Civilization is going to be much stronger for that. I don't care, I have no duties tomorrow. Go as late as you want. I do have my own duties though. So if these are not too long, we'll hopefully get a third series. I imagine we're probably going to, right? Because for the most part, each Play All 3 series over here lasts between 1 hour and an hour and a half. The stream goes for 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. And we are done with the first 2 series, and we're certainly going to cast a third one. If we get like 4 hours for the first 2, then probably not. We need to balance time to do all the behind the scenes stuff. I'm working on some tournament ideas for later this year as well, that I am very sure you guys are going to enjoy quite a lot. And that's been taking a lot of the behind the scenes time as well. And also maintaining YouTube even has been kind of hard to do. I don't know if you saw, if you're subscribed to YouTube, that many of the latest videos did not have thumbnails in them because I simply not had the time to make it until yesterday. Yesterday I did not stream and finally had the time to make the thumbnails for the last couple videos as well as for the upcoming ones. What tourney? Ah, I cannot tell you that, my man. It's a secret. Until it's announced, all I can tell you is that there's good stuff coming our way. Is the mixed double tournament? I can't confirm nor deny. We have talked about both player civilizations. Let's take a look at MbL's map generation first. So we're getting closer to the players eventually going up to the feudal age. We'll see for the blue player that he's got the main gold up in the north. The secondary gold is going to be towards the south. And the other secondary goals on the left-hand side as well. It's going to be kind of forward. Main stone on the left-hand side, secondary stone towards the south. And he's very close to the corner of the map, so it shouldn't be too difficult for him to just connect the dots and defend himself as such. And the good thing about going for this is that he will be able to defend 1, 2 golds already, which is great. Not so much the stone, but besides that, he will be able to defend 1 pond, which with Japanese, remember, is going to be fantastic. And he's got a wool line over here that he would completely protect if he were to go for these walls. This is the 5 versus 5 tournament. Ah, damn it, you cracked the code. Nova, where were you yesterday? Explain yourself, I got so worried. Yesterday I didn't know that they were casting. I was doing behind the scenes work and didn't check the TTL server. Because I was under the impression last week that every week it was going to be the same schedule with Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays being the casting days. It made sense at the time because T90, I think he's got special stream schedules for Monday and Saturday and Friday actually, right? But it turns out that it changes week to week, so I need to keep up with it. And basically I didn't know that they were casting these games, so we are going to do it today. Tomorrow there is nothing from TTL, and they are going to do on Thursday once again, so we're still going to do Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday this week, at the very least, for TTL games. And I'm thinking of one additional stream, of course, to make it 4. To cast either another show match. I was told the Neely versus Capoch was pretty good at best of 11. Or, alternatively, cast some of the Gold League as well, which I'd very much be happy to do. What is this behavior? Just new caster. Even I was under that impression. Yeah, I was completely caught off guard. So Militia's coming in from MbL is not going to be the only aggression coming in from the Bull player. He's got a sneaky duck already coming up on the left hand side, but Dark does have a sneaky duck coming up on the right hand side. Just himself as well, and MbL is not aware of this. And Dark, he is aware of this already, but he's not going for a fire galley yet. What is going on? He's got an archer range and archers on the way, so he cannot really afford to go for everything at once. But he's got the fire galley on the way now, finally. Oh no, that's MbL's actually. And Dark still is not going for anything. Wow. Those days, only T90 will cast live. Other days, he said that he can't cast live. Okay, so you're saying that when we have series scheduled to take place live on, let's say, a Monday, T90 specifically is not going to cast on Monday, but it's still going to take place live for other casters, and T90 will only cast either on Tuesday, Thursdays, or Saturdays? Is that it? Let me know. Yeah, this is really good from MbL, by the way. That completely pushing Dark away from the main goal and force him to go for the secondary goal on the back. We haven't taken a look at Dark's map generation yet, but we are getting a good idea already of what it's like. And now we'll finally see Dark go for his own fire galley over here, but MbL has already managed to get one fishing ship down. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, we have 2 dogs from Dark, and MbL has realized about this. But as we have 2 fire galleys coming out from Dark, MbL should struggle big time to defend himself against this, which is unfortunate. Once again, the map generation for him will allow him to eventually secure this pawn, so losing control of it this early into the game certainly sucks, especially with the Japanese. He said that? I can try to share? Oh, it's fine. I'll take your word for it. It's a lot of Minotaurs, man. And the villagers are not happy to take the engagements over here. We already see 2 going down, and that might actually be more than 2. Still have 2 Minotaurs and the scouts over there, and there will be another villager going down. Yes, sir. And another one! Already 4 villagers dead from Dark, and MbL is coming out on top on the left-hand side. Dark, instead, should be able to get control of the right-hand side, but if they trade pawns like this, that still benefits MbL because of all the villagers that Dark has lost. Plus the fact that Dark doesn't have any fishing ships left on the left-hand side anymore. Damage that he has been able to do to MbL on the right-hand side has only been mirrored by MbL on the left-hand side, so it's looking very good for the Bull player. If he can start going for a few fishing ships over there, he's gonna be back in business in no time. Beautiful. He said here, I believe. Alright. Alright. I'll check it out later. Thanks for sharing. Oh man, MbL is just dominating. Archer starting to pour into the wood line as well from Dark. Yeah, and up in the north, MbL does have a dock. He's got 2 fishing ships. Dark is getting his own dock up over here. There is no way Dark will be able to defend himself and also try to contest the pawns. Like, it's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Plus, MbL's pressure over here is going to make it pretty difficult for Dark to keep on going for defensive units, even skirmishers, right? And fire galleys or any sort of navy, as the wood situation is quite dire for Dark. He does have another wood line down the south over here, but this is going to be only about 60% as efficient as his entire wood economy should be because of all the lumberjacks up in the north being completely inefficient, right? Well, we'll take a look at the right hand side, and MbL's got both his lumber camps working at 100% efficiency. Hey there, Chris. Welcome. Always is allowed to say your name. Yeah, good defense over here. Dark has finally taken the skirmishers down from MbL. He's finally freed himself somewhat of MbL's aggression. We do have a tower left over here. MbL's on his way to the castle age as well. This tower does not have enough range, even with fletching, to push all the villagers away from gold. It was 1 tile too far away. But this tower here, now we're talking. Not only is that tower going to push the villagers away from the wood, but also MbL's unit control was pretty good. He ended up taking some of the archers down already from Dark. Dark gets pushed away. Kind of like with the tail between his legs here. With only 3 archers left to work with. Basically no resources to keep on going for. A lot of stuff, and MbL will be in the castle age very soon, about 1 minute and 20 seconds. Meanwhile, Dark is only now caught up in work account. You gotta keep in mind, of course, that going up to the castle age will have an effect in your work account, and MbL would otherwise still be significantly ahead. Interestingly enough, MbL realized about the aggression from Dark up in the north, and he went for a second dock himself. And Dark did go for the docks, but did not spot on the left hand side the first dock from MbL, so he's only aware of the second one. Here we are. Beautiful. MbL is coming out on top over here up in the north. He's got into the castle age, and interestingly enough, instead of going for crossbows and trying to keep on putting pressure with ranged units, he's gonna start going for the knights. He's got scale bar than armor already. And Dark? Yeah, Dark won't really be able to defend himself against this. The tower does not have enough space to shelter everyone. Fortunately for Dark, there we go. Yeah, and MbL is gonna keep on pouring more and more knights by the minute. And the knights don't care about the TC. There are only 4 villagers around the TC to really garrison it, so the quick walls are necessary from Dark. And he's getting it just in time. Nice quick walls. Definitely still very much on the back foot, and we have units going around the south into the gold anyway. With archers and skirmishers already having bodkin arrow, these are much deadlier than they were in the fuel age, so Dark is not safe. He might have clutched it up with the walls on the left-hand side, but he will still end up losing a few villagers over here, and we already saw 2 go down. We are going to see a lot more go down as well. Well, we have a scout from Dark to defend himself against this. It's not going to work, of course. The archers with Bodkin arrow will not care about the scout, and even if they were vulnerable to the scout, the knights were going to be here. So now MbL seems like he's got a pretty firm grip in game number 1, and Dark is not particularly close to get enough resources to go up to the Castle Age himself, right? And it was open by the looks of it. Knight came in. How did the knight come in, actually? Hold on. Ah, it was open. Yeah, the gate was open, so the knight came in. Impressive that the villager count's still even. Yeah, Dark's been really relying on the fishing ships. MbL not so much. And you would expect the bull player to be the one going for it, given the civilization choices. But of course, Dark is under a lot more pressure right now than he was when he was in the fuel age, and when MbL was in the fuel age. And if Dark has to click out to the castle age, the villager count is going to become so much higher for MbL. The worker count is going to get so much higher for MbL compared to Dark, so it's not the best position for the red player still. And this seems like it's going to be even worse for Knights coming straight into the wool line. Oh, and that's gotta be tragic. That's gotta be absolutely tragic. The tower comes up. The Knights come in. Dark, most likely than not, let's go and call the GG as we see MbL take game number 1. Let's go and check game number 2 in a moment, but let's go through the achievements first, and let's cross the civilizations in the map in the draft view. Better KD for MbL, approaching 3-2. Meanwhile, for economy, we have a stronger economy for MbL with about 2,400 extra resources. Society is gonna be better for MbL as well. He managed to get more villagers out compared to Dark. And by the end of the game, of course, that crumbled quite a lot for the red player, going as low as 28 villagers compared to 49. So 21 extra villagers actually from MbL. And well, the fishing ships did favor Dark, but it was not enough to compensate, of course. Beautiful. And here we are. Welcome everyone to game number 2. Hey Daniela. Hi. Welcome back. Hope you're doing alright. Hope you had a great stream yesterday. Actually, you know, 2 days ago was the raid, right? Yeah. Yesterday I was in the midst of finishing my fasting. And I did it successfully. First 72-hour fast ever. And it was not really that difficult. Thankfully. I definitely would not have appreciated a harder process for sure. But anyway, getting back into the game. For game number 2, MbL's playing with Mongols. And Dark is playing with Lithuania Sagas. Welcome back as well. And what do we get for these guys? We're gonna have MbL playing with the Mongols up in the north in the blue color, which means he's gonna get 40% faster work in hunters, and you can see that he's already gonna take advantage of it. We have a lot of hunting available for the players, and MbL will already be pushing some of the deer into the TC. And then in addition to that, Mongols will also have for the bull player 30% extra HP on like cavalry, Hussar, Step Lancer line units, 25% faster attacking cavalry archers, and besides that, we also see for MbL civilization. There we go. We'll see for MbL civilization. Beautiful. For the team bonus, 2 extra line of sight on scout line units. Dark playing down south in the red color with Lithuanians. We'll get 150 extra food upon start in the game. Now that's a fantastic bonus for a map like this. It will allow him to go for the water a little bit earlier. He can focus a little bit more heavily on wood earlier. And you can see that he already gets the first fishing ship. Meanwhile, MbL not so much. He's sending a villager over to get a dock up, but it's gonna take some time. Besides that, the Lithuanians get 10% fast moving skirms, spear line units. He's gonna have with the civilization also one extra attack on Knights and Lycha units per each relic garrison, up to 4 relics, so up to +4 attack. And for the team bonus, the Lithuanians will have 20% faster work in monasteries as well, and that's gonna be about it. So MbL is finally going for the dog. But now that I'm watching your stream, that's so sweet. Love to hear that. I'm very happy, guys. You know that I'm always very enthusiastic and happy about a lot of stuff, but even more so now, everything's working really well this year. I made my resolutions, and for the most part, I've been able to keep up with them for the first week. And it's been great. I resumed trying to learn how to sing. I'm going to be doing that for my music practice days that I do not stream, so that I don't strain my voice too much. And then the days that I do stream, I'm gonna be doing guitar most likely. And yeah, German's going well. Yeah. I've been learning a lot, so things are shaping up to be great this year. A lot of work to do behind the scenes besides learning stuff. A lot of stuff that I want to do for content, for the stream, for YouTube. We'll see if I'll get enough time to do everything. When you do everything on your own, it's kind of slower, right? When you don't have like a video editor for YouTube and you don't have somebody to work your overlays for Twitch, that kind of stuff. But we'll manage to, I'm pretty sure. Hope you are as psyched as I am about the future, hopefully. And if not, I hope at the very least my enthusiasm can pour over and at the very least make your day a little bit better. What's coming in already for MbL? Let's take a look at the map generation for the Bull player. Alright, he's got the golds on the left and right hand sides. Now this map does not have a main gold per se. As you can see, we have two tile golds, and then the players will have to try and contest for one of these golds to the sides of the map. What else? We have the stone on the back, and we have another stone over here kind of on the back as well. If he just connects to walls like this and something like this, that should be really good, right? Something like so. Shouldn't be too expensive, and he will be able to secure 1 gold, 2 stones, and a variety of wool lines over here. 1, 2, 3 wool lines for sure. Map generation for Dark as the players are getting closer to the fuel age. Let's take a look at what we get over here. Now, interesting to see Dark going up significantly faster though. MbL seems like he's going to try to fast castle. Dark's going to be the one putting the most pressure most likely. So the red player, he's got 1 goal on the back, which is great. The other goal on the right hand side is going to be a little bit exposed. But similarly to MbL, if he were to go for walls like this, which wouldn't be too expensive, he will be able to secure 1 gold plus 2 stones. And also a variety of wool lines over here as well, so it's not too bad. As a matter of fact, I think it's probably a little bit better compared to MbL's map generation. The walls are a little bit easier because it's closer to the corner, and he does secure a few extra wood lines as well. Let's go! It's going to be an amazing year for everyone, and yes, glad you're always enthusiastic. Watching your stream always puts me in such a great mood. I'm happy to hear that, and I always hope that whoever is watching my contents, hopefully, going to come out of it feeling better than they were before. The whole point of content creation in the entertainment industry at large, right? But more so than entertainment, when you watch a live streamer as well, the great thing is also companionship of sorts. So hopefully that helps too. Castle H on the way for MbL indeed, and Dark is the only player going for Navy whatsoever. He's got 2 galleys, 2 additional galleys on the way. And this is no Japanese. water economy from MbL, which means that Dark, even with 3 standard galleys alone, would be able to two-shot the fishing ships. He's got 4 right now. Ideally, yeah, he's got to be really, really careful about the sea tower over here. This one on this map is going to shoot additional projectiles, and it still has a pretty good amount of bonus damage against ships. So if he could maybe draw fire from the tower with a single galley and then use the rest to take the fishing ships down, it shouldn't be too difficult, right? But he's going to just go for it because the MbL is too far away from the defenses. Yeah, and the fishing ships over here are getting kind of chunked, and MbL is going to have to micro the units around not to lose these. And is he actually working here? He's not working. There is no fish over there to speak of. Where's the rest of the fish? Yep, the fish is too far away. MbL cannot make use of the fishing ships anymore if he goes and tries to collect from any of these deep fish. He's just going to lose the fishing ships, so now he's got fire galleys on the way, and because he's going to be the first player to the Castle Age, he'll be the first player with access to the War Galley upgrade. But Dark is not too far away. And not only that, he's got a much stronger water economy compared to MbL. Fantastic. War Galley upgrades on the way now for MbL. He's got only 2 fire galleys right now. A step lancer. He's going for some more. He's got a stable already up, so he's going for some more. Second TC's on the way now for MbL as well. But he cannot do any damage around Dark spaces. Now the red player has completely walled himself. 3 dogs as well for Dark. He's going for a bunch of extra Navy units. What he's got to work with right now should be enough to fight like 2 fire ships from MbL. So I don't think it's wise from the blue player to try and put pressure with these units just yet. He needs a larger amount of units. He should know this already. Dark has already unveiled a lot of the galleys that he had to work with. Let's check. There we go. Fantastic. Right hand side. Third TC on the way now for MbL and Dark. Dark is getting to the castle. He needs to go for extra TCs himself. Or risk not only getting caught up by MbL, but potentially falling behind. Wait a moment though! The step lancers on the right hand side are coming in right away. And Dark's reaction is beautiful. He does not lose in one villager over here, but does manage to get the quick walls up on the right hand side, and now he's going to try on the left hand side, but he's not going to be able to, as now we see MbL coming in with the step lancers, the scout cavalry over there stepping on top of the foundations, preventing the villagers from getting the foundations up. In the end, Dark is able to get the foundations over here, and MbL won't be able to get quite as much damage done, but what he's gotten done so far is going to be enough for him to catch up. And taking a look at the worker count at this point in time is going to reveal the same worker count for MbL and for Dark. As a matter of fact, Dark is actually falling behind a little bit. But yeah, you know, with all 3 TCs up and running, MbL, if he's able to keep production from all 3, and it seems like he should, he's gonna start pulling ahead right now. And Dark was in such a good spot just a few minutes ago. He was building a very nice lead for himself, but MbL has been able to catch up. And he's in a pretty good position because of it. There we go. Second TC is already out for Dark. Demo's coming in though from MbL. Nice shots. Won't be enough for him to get full water control over here, as Dark still higher military count. Especially as MbL has, for the most part, for his military count, he's got step lancers. Dark's gone for a few knights to defend himself against these units, and for the most part he's gonna be on navy, while MbL's for the most part on land units, and he's got basically no navy left. He's got one garrison, one fire ship garrison inside the dock, and another one on the way, but with a single dock against a player with 3 docks over here, it's going to be pretty difficult for MbL to get water control once again. And Dark, he's been prioritizing water for the majority of the game, right? And MbL on the other hand, he's been prioritizing. And take a look at that though, that is such a cheeky play from MbL, taking advantage of the one range of the step lancers over here to push villagers away from behind the trees actually. But yeah. Beautiful. Here comes MbL. Maybe able to get a village down? He tried. He tried. He couldn't quite get it. That was very close. And by the minute, MbL is gonna keep on pulling ahead as Dark is not going for any extra fishing ships and he's only on 2 TCs compared to MbL's 3. The Bull player is starting to extend onto his lead by quite a lot already. 10 extra workers for MbL. Military count dead even, while MbL once again he prioritized land units for the most part. Dark has a lot of navy, but not too much to defend himself against this. And there's a lot of pressure from MbL, yes. Interestingly enough, he's not going for too many extra units though. Only now he kills yet another step lancer, but for the most part he's been trying to prioritize eco production. You see, the moment he tries to queue another step lancer, he cannot afford extra villagers, but yeah, the slow military production that MbL is going for, I think you'd probably be better off just going for economy and try to make use of the units that he had left. Now he's going to have only 2 step lancers left, but he's in a better position. He's already managed to get a 400 score lead against Dark. Yeah, and he's gonna get another villager over there. Almost. We're gonna see a hero sniper over here from MbL. Not quite. Oh, but we do actually on the left hand side. Fantastic. Defensive castle now coming out from MbL. Dark has not been collecting too much stone, and you know, MbL was going for the defensive castle up in the north. He decides against it in the end. He's gonna try to go for a 4-1, and the players are going to run into each other now. As the TC is coming up, that TC is not coming up. That TC is not coming up whatsoever. Yeah, and Dark's going to end up losing a bunch of these villagers. MbL could actually have tried to go for the castle fort anyway. Dark right now doesn't really have the resources to even buy a defensive castle. So MbL committed to the forward castle. He would have been able to get away with it anyway. Especially with the step lancers over here, but it's understandable that he tries to be a little bit more cautious after getting spotted. I imagine he was trying to be sneaky about the castle. Shouldn't be too long until MbL gets enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age. Dark on the other hand, doesn't seem like he'll be able to go up to the Imperial Age at all this game. Beautiful. House snipe from MbL, getting the villagers down now. And that's another one. And another one. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Still going pretty heavily into villagers. He's not at the 4 TC. That is something that I do find kind of surprising from MbL. Given the fact that Dark has had plenty of time in the Castle Age to go up for extra TCs himself. Sticking to only 3 TCs in MbL's position seems risky, right? We know from the spectator's point of view that Dark has not gone for too many extra TCs himself, and MbL did realize in the end by sending the Step Lancers forward, he did get vision of the TCs that Dark did have to work with. He was already aware of these two. He was not aware of this one, but he was probably not expecting there to be any extra economy beyond what he got vision of. So it's taking a little bit of a chance for MbL not to go for any extra TCs over here and just try to hold on to his lead with 3. Okay, we see now that he's going for the 4th one. This is so late into the game. But still, it's fantastic. And the fact that MbL was able to get half an hour into the game, over 100 population, while actively putting pressure, fighting on water, fighting on land, is remarkable as well. Dark, on the other hand, he's getting bloodlines now. And he's going to try to make a play with the knights that he's got on the left-hand side. These guys do not even have scale body armor, so he's going to start going for it. Hey, Rosa! Hi, hi. Beautiful. Chain bar, then I'm on the way now for Dark. Yeah, but it's coming in so late. Everything from Dark seems like it's not going to suffice. MbL already is on 2 castles. He's producing Mangudai. He's getting very close to going out to the Imperial Age, not in terms of current resources, but if you take into account his current economy and how quickly he's gathering resources, if he just tried prioritizing going out to the Imperial Age, he should be able to click up in the next minute. Well, Dark, on the other hand, Dark's not going to be anywhere near having enough to go up to the Imperial Age, so the game is looking so good for MbL. Dark is one of those players that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks, right? Especially when casting some of the Silver League games. Dark is a player who is on the rise. Okay. Connection to H2 lost. The game has probably closed. This is the same that happened yesterday. I don't know if you remember. Actually, 2 days ago, sorry, when we were casting some other series. We were casting Neely versus Doubt. I don't know why this is happening, but I'm gonna try and catch up, alright? So, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're just going to see it come up right away. And here we go, guys! We continue coverage of this game. The problem, Imperial Age is on the way for MbL, as we were expecting it to be. Meanwhile, Dark, on the other hand, not so much. Not so much. But this is a lot of pressure coming in from MbL. We have Rams. We have the Mangudai. The thing about this, though, is we have enough Mangudai for him to actually take care of the Knights as well. And he will. There he goes. It doesn't seem to me like there is enough defense over here for Dark to hold on against the Mangudai from MbL, against the Rams, right? So the TC crumbles, a bunch of villagers go down over here, the Knights are not sufficient for Dark to defend himself with. Then we might find ourselves in a situation where Dark actually ends up calling the GG before the Imperial Age finishes researching, but that's not going to be the case. He still has one last bit of hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's a castle. Dark's going for, which will put a stop to the push from MbL on the right hand side. The Castle Age push, of course. But we know the moment MbL gets to the Imperial Age and he gets access to trebuchets, then Dark's not gonna be in a good position anymore. He's not right now in a good position, to be fair. But it's going to get rougher for Dark for sure. Here we go. Yep, PLH is here. Dark calls GG right away, and MbL finds himself up 2-0 against Dark already. Now remember, this is a play all 3. So we're gonna have a third game no matter what. And because the games are important for your score in the league, Dark is definitely gonna need to try hard on game number 3 as well. He cannot just like half-heartedly try to play game number 3, because if he loses that one, he's gonna have 0 points out of the series, and players who do not perform well in the league will get demoted at the end of it. So there's plenty of incentive for Dark to keep on trying. Let's go through the achievements one more time. Well, the KD over here is not really representative, right? It's definitely not representative of the entire game. And to be fair, I think most of the achievements over here are not representative on the entire game. Maybe the resources collected are. MbL does end up collecting 10,000 extra resources. And the worker count, the worker count is good, but I don't think it's representative also of how the game's gone so far. For instance, we saw MbL go for fishing ships, and he lost them earlier. It's not displaying here. So I think probably the only thing that's really going to be accurate for Capture H when you jump in the middle of a game is going to be economy. And we are in game number 3, everyone. Final one of the series, no matter how this goes. MbL, he's playing with Aztecs. Dark, he's playing with the Cumans. What do we have for these civilizations? MbL is going to get first off. Villagers can carry 3 extra resources per trip for free. The Aztecs will begin with 50 extra gold as well. In addition to getting 11% faster training military units except for monks, the Aztecs will also get monks with 5 extra HP per each monastery technology that they research. For the team bonus, Aztecs will get 33% faster gold income from relics. And taking a look at the left-hand side, a dark civilization instead. The commands will allow him to go for a second TC in the Fuel Age, as well as siege workshops in the Fuel Age, where he can produce only RAM units until he gets to the Castle Age, of course. Once he gets there, he's gonna get access to the Captarm upgrade 1 inch earlier compared to any other civilization. And on top of that, the commands will also have a 75 wood discount on stables and archer ranges, while for the team bonus, they get 33% extra HP on Palisades. Let's go for the map generation next. We're gonna start with Mr. MbL. This being Arabia is going to feature your standard amount of starting resources. So we have the main goal that MbL is going to have in the bag already. That's so good, and his map generation overall is so nice. Secondary goals are both on the right hand side. Now there is a way by which MbL will be able to secure all of this, and that is by walling to the corner of the map like this. Something like this wouldn't be too expensive for MbL, and he would be able to secure not only the extra resources in the back, but also the wool over here. However, something much more realistic would be for him to go for something like this instead. That means that the golds will not be secured unless maybe he uses this gold as part of the walls, kind of like so. And then on top of that, the stones, we're gonna have one up in the north and the other one on the left hand side. He can also go for the walls like this instead, as opposed to going towards the TC, so that he can also secure this gold, potentially the berries, of course. That'll be great. Yeah, but I would say the map generation for MbL is actually quite solid. It's really, really good. Meanwhile, taking a look at the map generation for Dark, on the other hand, what do we get for the red player? Well, for red, we're gonna get the main gold on the left-hand side. It's not strictly on the back like MbL's, but it's very close to the TC and should be easily... Okay, little engagement here. Dark pushes the scout away from MbL, but MbL is going to lean to sheep already. He's trying to bully the scout. And will he be able to do it? Dark. He's going after the sheep now. He's got the heal, but now MbL's got the heal and he gets a nice hit against the scout and another nice hit. A little rough over there for Dark. The unit control has not been the best. And now MbL's gonna try to lane the villager. He's blocking her. Yeah, and the eagle over here. MbL is losing HP on the eagle, but it seems like he's still going to come out on top, and that is not bad. This scout, this eagle scout. Yeah, it's very low HP, but it's still going to be in a better position compared to Dark Scout. As this guy is one hit over here. Wow, that was good. In the end, MbL does end up taking the sheep away. So he will get some extra damage done. He does end up chunking a little bit of extra HP off the villager collecting the board. You can see that she was left on only 1 HP. But let's take a look at the map generation once again. So I was mentioning the gold, and we have the main goal on the left-hand side, very close to his TC. Meanwhile, Dark's secondary goal is going to be on the back, and that is beautiful. The other secondary goal is going to be extremely far forward, while for stones, we have the main stone on the right-hand side, towards the north, secondary stone towards the southeast. There's a group of militias coming over from MbL. We're going to keep a look. We're going to keep track of those units in a moment, but you can see that the walls that Dark could go for would allow for him to defend 2 lanes over here, but this section will be too hard to defend unless he sends some units over that direction to collect resources, maybe collect from this wood line, so that he's able to reinforce the walls if MbL is to try and put some pressure over there. But here comes the blue player. 3 militias. Dark is getting the quick walls up, but it's not going to be all on time though. Now MbL's gotta be careful. He does have the Eagle Scout over there, but he cannot really use it effectively against the villagers because how low HP it is. He's gonna try to get one villager down. Might be able to get her down. Not quite. The TC is right there. Yeah, and the aggression from MbL is very, very nice. Forcing the walls up from Dark. Meanwhile, MbL on the other hand is gonna go full greed, guys. He is on 29 on 30 population now, and that's gonna be a fast castle 10 times out of 10. MbL is exercising full greed for game number 3, and Dark on the other hand, yeah, he's not in a position to be greedy right now because he's been the one under pressure for the most part. He's got some militias coming now, right now, right? But that's going to be for defending himself against this. So this is really good. No matter how you slice it, MbL is in a fantastic position. By keeping the militias forward and alive, he's going to force Dark into playing defensive with these militias, and that allows MbL to get enough time to make his play for the fast castle. Meanwhile, Dark on the other hand, he wants to put pressure. He does not want to play defensive, but it doesn't seem to me like it's going to be enough. Okay, so we have extra militias coming up for MbL. I'm not so sure about the fast castle anymore, even if his villager count is very generous. We have Minotaurs now for Dark, but still MbL comes out on top with the extra militias, the hill advantage and good unit control. There's no stop in the bull player. Yeah, and Dark gets pushed away despite having, you know, arguably stronger units. The numbers for MbL are going to trump the upgrades. Seems like we're back in business though. MbL's got the one villager collecting the, or getting the walls up. He's got extra villagers collecting the deer as well. Yeah, it seems like he's gonna be able to effectively wall himself up. No problem. There we go. Fantastic. And MbL still putting pressure against Dark over here. He gets to the field age. But indeed, he does not have enough resources to go out to the castle age. The extra militias certainly came in at a pretty penny. And now Dark. Dark's gonna be the one putting pressure. get into the field age faster. He had a head start in archer production, while MbL will be going for skirmishers himself. He took a little bit longer to get the archer range up. However, take a look at that. I was talking about the greed for MbL over here, and it seems like I was not accurate enough, because he's going for extremely greedy gameplay over here. It's not just the build. He's going out to the field age in a much stronger economy compared to Dark, but he's going for the greediest walls he could possibly have gone for in this map. He's going to the corner of the map. He's going to the northeast edge of the map as well. That will allow him to secure the extra golds. And the great thing about this is that once he gets to the castle age, he will be able to go for, let's say, a TC over here. A TC over here. Okay, there we go. To secure the wood line, to secure the gold, potentially another one over here, so he will be able to secure the stone and the gold, and the wood, sorry. We'll see what we get. Nice pressure from Mr. MbL. And once again, it's the case. Dark finds himself on the back foot as MbL's stronger economy going up to the field age will allow him to go up to the castle age significantly earlier. And it seems like we might be onto a fairly short game over here, as MbL seems to be dominating against Dark. It's not really the best position for the red player right now, and MbL is on his way to the castle age. Once he gets there, he'll get access to the warrior upgrade and whatnot. Crossbows, of course. Yeah, it's gonna keep on going for eagles. How many barracks do we have for MbL? He's got only one for the time being. He could go for a second one. Yeah, this is good. This is what you want to do. You see how MbL is going for sturdier buildings on the far end of his walls over here, as opposed to just going for palisades. There is no way that, given his current economy and where the villagers are located, he will be able to defend a palisade wall up over here. So he's going for a stone wall and a market, and that is the way to go. Hey Cliffy, hi. Welcome back. Second stable on the way now for Dark. Actually, that's the first. No, it is the second stable. So second stable on the way for Dark, but MbL. MbL's gonna be in the castle age very soon. And what I'm really wondering though is if he's gonna try to put extra pressure, going potentially for a forward siege workshop. He's got a villager and he's got a second barracks on the way forward, right? So he's going to double his eagle production, and potentially we're gonna see a siege workshop coming up over here. But there's an alternative for MbL. He could go for an extra TC and try to get further ahead, extend onto his lead against Dark, but it seems like he's gonna try and play aggressive over here instead. And here come the scouts, and here come the archers from Dark, as MbL is not going for any castle age upgrades yet. These units are basically the same as field age units, only now Balkan arrows on the way for MbL. Yeah, it seems like like the bull player is going to go indeed for a full push over here with a monastery and the siege workshop. Should be in a good position. Here come the scouts. And the eagle scouts from MbL will push those units away, and MbL's doing such a good job. Clinical performance over here. Notice the unit control, how he always keeps the eagle scouts safe. Brings these forward as a meat shield against the scout cavalry from Dark, and is going to keep the skirmishers safe for the most part because of it. A real pro move would have been Triple Monastery Monks. Hey, Baila. I am always in for triple Monastery Monks. But MbL, not so much. And second TC from Dark. Allow them to get a little bit farther ahead in work account. He's got a 20 villager lead, but MbL's pressure over here is looking strong. He's got a second Mangonel about to come out of the Siege Workshop and a third Mangonel to queue up after that one. Still no Eagle Warriors, still no crossbows, still no elite Eagle, no elite skirmishers. But this push is still very, very strong. Could potentially attack from the hill, I think, though. Couldn't he? I think he could. I think he could attack from the hill. Could be control. Taking HP off the villagers around the tower. And you take a look at the range of the TCs over there. There is a location where the Mangonel can... Yeah, there we go. Deny the tower. For sure. It'll probably be wise for MbL to just keep the Mangonel over here. So that he's able to indeed deny this. Take a look. Once again, fantastic unit control for MbL. The Mangonel, though, might be exposed over here. We're gonna see one Mangonel go down. One of the scouts. Both scouts get converted, though, from Dark. So now we still have 3 Mangonels left for MbL to work with in Dark. Dark's coming in with a bunch of scouts. There is a lot of potential for damage here. So MbL is going to respect this and move the villagers away from gold. And where did where did Dark come through, by the way? Coming through. Oh, he broke through here. MbL should have had enough time to wall himself up over there. In the end, he didn't do it. But it may not matter. One of the TCs has already gone down from Dark. He's still in the fuel age. If he is to click up to the castle age anytime soon, of course, he's going to start falling behind. They're not really falling behind, but that's going to be an opportunity for MbL to start catching up in work count. And the scouts in the end do manage to get some damage done over here. I think we might have seen one villager go down over here. I cannot find a single body though. But MbL did take 2 villager losses. So I would attribute that to the scout push. Probably. And MbL's going after the last DC from Dark. This could very, very well be the GG moment. That DC crumbles. Dark's got no defenses for his economy anymore. We still have 2 Mangonels over there. Dark does not have enough resources to go for another DC. And as the Mangonels take the last DC down from Dark now, MbL is completely free to take the scouts down. And if Dark is not going to engage with the scouts, well, MbL is just going to move forward. And he's going to start taking villagers, right? Like, there's no defenses. We have one tower over here in the middle of nowhere. And the 1 TC is on the way on the left-hand side. So long as MbL keeps on putting pressure over here, should find himself in a good spot. And he is. 32 military units versus 9. Over 3 times the military for MbL. And 74 villagers, 73 villagers for Dark. And he's going to have only 1 TC and 1 tower to protect. Certainly not a good position for the red players. So this should very well be GG very soon. Dark does not have anywhere near enough resources to go up to the castle age anytime soon. Even if he used the market and sold all the wood that he's got right now, that will maybe allow him to go up to the castle age, but God knows what's going to happen until he gets there, right? MbL's already in 3 TCs himself. And yeah, the pressure coming up over here. If Dark saves the resource to go up to the castle age as opposed to trying to get the units out to defend themselves, will result in a lot of extra losses for Dark as well. And it seems like that's the case. Extra scouts coming in from Dark. He's going for full defenses. Is that going to work out for him or not? We still have a lot of extremes for MbL. Many of these are just skirmishers or fuel H archers. So it's not the best, but even if Dark ends up cleaning these units from MbL, the fact that MbL is in the Castle Age alone is such a good thing for the blue player. He's already managed to get ahead in work count. And if he goes for the Eagle Warrior upgrade, if he goes for Chain Mail Armor, yeah, I don't think there's too much Dark will be able to do against that. At the very least, for the time being, Dark is able to push MbL away, and he's got the second TC on the way now, once again. He's been saving a good amount of resources, so he should be on his way to the Castle Age. Makes sense for him to save the resources after cleaning MbL's units up, of course. He needed to prioritize military production first. Let's take a look to see if MbL realizes about how low HP the scout over there really is. If he had just turned around, he would have been able to get the villager. He would have been able to get the scout down already. Ah, that's so rough for MbL. He could have taken the scout down and he could have gotten the extra barracks up. Fantastic. MbL so much ahead. Extremely far ahead. With 3 TCs and Dark only one operating TC as he's going up to the Castle Age with the other one. MbL's work count is going to keep on skyrocketing over here compared to Dark's villager count. MbL is going to be in a much better position. He's got an Eagle Warrior upgrade right now as well, which is great. And he does have 3 barracks to work with. So he's got 1 forward. Squires coming up from it. He's got actually 4 barracks, right? And then 3 on the back over here. Eagle Warriors are fantastic. Dark can make a play for Knights now that he's getting to the Castle Age himself and he's got a good amount of resources. Dark has also gone up to the Castle Age in a very strong economy, and he could have tried to play this one a little bit greedier and try to directly fast imp. But he did not have enough resources to go for a castle, and going to the Imperial Age without cape check is kind of rough. He could have made a play for Cavalier maybe up there, but yeah, he decides to go for full step lancer right now instead. And it could be good. Here we go. Beautiful defense for Dark so far. MbL is the wisest to start ramping up his military production, and he will. He's got extra barracks coming up on the back, so if this one goes down, he'll still be left on 5 to work with back home. Meanwhile, Dark on the other hand, well, the red player, he's currently on 6 stables. So that is a substantial production potential. Of course, his economy right now is not strong enough for him to produce from all 6 at all times. And MbL is going to start making a play for pikemen instead, which I like. But I would say it'd still be good for MbL to mix a few Eagle Warriors in there, right? So he can send the pikemen forward to try and take the engagements against the Step Lancers, and then he can send the Eagle Warriors to raid afterwards, because pikemen, of course, will not be the best raiding unit. 40C on the way now for Dark. Military count, better for the red player, not by a huge margin. Worker count, better for MbL by a huge margin. 32 extra workers right now. Dark on 78, MbL on 110. Getting very close to the 130 or so sweet spot that we're going to see players usually go to before MbL starts considering going up to the Imperial Age, and potentially even earlier than that. Here we go. Pike push. Pikes and monks. Yes, sir. Archer range is on the way for Dark. Coming in a little bit too late though. One of these gets denied. The other one does come up. It's gonna leave Dark on 2 archer ranges, I believe, total. Yes, and then the other 2 are still foundation state. This is looking good for MbL. And now we see the Eagle production commence. And he's got 42 Eagle Warriors queued up. MbL is out of his mind. He's already got enough pikemen to definitely offset for the Step Lancer army over here from Dark that he's got to defend with. But now Eagle Warriors will be such an effective raiding unit. So long as he's got the pikes still at hand to defend himself with, those Eagles will just run rampant. There we go. He need dozens of cavalry archers. He need dozens of cavalry archers just to stay alive over here, honestly. And even then, if MbL just split his army into multiple small groups, that'd be so hard for Dark to defend himself effectively against. Yeah, and here come the Eagles, right? So Dark's going out to the Imperial Age. He is going for a little bit of a greedier approach over here. Some villagers go down for MbL, but a ton of villagers go down for Dark. So many villages exposed everywhere. Yeah, TC's kind of garrison everything, so there will still be a lot of villages left over here for grabs, and village count is going down for Dark. Further and further. Extra Eagles coming in, and he's doing such a good job. Just causing all sorts of mayhem around Dark space. And there's a 5th and a 6th TC on the way. Actually, that's going to be the 4th and 5th, right? He ended up losing the 4th TC already. It's interesting to take a look at Dark's side of the minimap, and it kind of looks as if we had only the resource view enabled or the military view enabled. But this is actually his economy. Like it's not good. Yeah, it's pretty much over. 70 population. Dark's waiting for the Imperial Age before calling the GG. There is no way back into this game for him, but at the very least he's going to have the Imperial Age finish researching. He's not calling it though. What is the plan for Dark over here? How on earth is he going to be able to come back? He reaches the Imperial Age, but there's nothing he can do from this position anymore. MbL is going to be in the Imperial Age very soon himself. 185 population. MbL is going to get to 200 in a moment. Dark is going for cavalry archers. He's got 8 cavalry archers against 43 military units from MbL. And Dark finally goes on to call the GG. So MbL will get a clean sweep for his series over here. And the next set that we are going to cast, as you can see from the stream title, will be the Viper versus Sitoso. Let's go and take a look at the achievements of this one before hopping back out. When will you start your VTuber career? Unfortunately, that is not going to happen in the end because Snap Camera is actually shutting down. They have a web app, but that is a lot more limited. So I have this idea of, instead of having webcam, having a virtual avatar, but I guess it's not going to happen. RIP. Well, maybe not with Snap Camera. We'll see what else is available. For the time being, there are other things higher on the priority list. Military, better KD for MbL. Economy, stronger economy for MbL by a lot, getting about 14,000 extra resources for society. We have a higher villager count for MbL by a lot as well. So overall, well played. MbL just completely dominated the series. Let's go back.